Now here's a devotion that I don't suspect the girls will be too interested in. That's unless they have a touch of Annie Oakley in their blood. As for you fellas, it'll probably be right up your alley, or I should say, your range. Shooting range, that is. I don't know what it is about guns, but men and boys are crazy about 'em. As far back as I can remember, I had toy guns around until I was old enough to take hunter safety training and own my own real ones. Because of sin, mankind will always have weapons. Back in the Bible days of old, rocks were used with tremendous results. Just look at what young David did to Goliath with a rock. Swords, knives, spears, cannons, and firearms of all sorts have been used over the years. When Jesus comes back to rule and reign, all weapons will be turned into farm tools, and we men and women who like to shoot will have to find a new hobby. That'll be praising the Lord, and I like that one. We'll be so excited about Jesus that nothing will interest us like they do right now. As for you gun collectors, watch out. Your engraved pair of matching Colt 45 Frontier models are going to be melted down and turned into shovel heads someday. Think of that. By the way, Jesus won't need guns to defend his throne, because by his spoken word, people will either live or die. All Jesus has to do is say, "You're dead," and the person would fall over dead as a doornail right on the spot. I'm sure glad he said to me, "You're alive." During the Civil War, the principal weapon was a Springfield musket. The Springfield rifle musket was a muzzle-loading weapon that could be fired no more than 6 times a minute, even by an expert. But its rifle barrel had spiral grooves in it that could spin bullets out at accurate distances of 500 yards, more than 5 times the effective range of old smoothbore muskets used in the Revolution. This meant that rifle muskets could cut ranks of advancing infantry to pieces even before the enemy could get close enough to use their bayonets. Take, for example, General Grant lost 7,000 men in less than 10 minutes when he ordered solid ranks of Union troops to charge entrenched Southern soldiers. Breech-loading rapid-fire weapons had been invented before the war, but when the North and South conflicted, the large supply of weapons on hand were the rifle muskets. Experts opposed rapid-firing weapons because they believed that these guns would encourage troops to waste bullets and make it more difficult to supply ammunition on the battlefield. Accuracy of fire, they insisted, was more important than how much fire went out of the rifle. Abraham Lincoln insisted that they develop a faster-loading rifle. They did come up with the Sharps breech-loading rifle, and Sharpshooter regiment was formed. These marksmen performed brilliant skills as snipers and skirmishers, both on the North and the South. Because of their excellent reputation as sharpshooters, they were always a welcome sight in a regiment. In May of 1864, at the Battle of Spotsylvania, Virginia, when a group of Southern soldiers had pinned down the enemy artillery, one man shot and killed General John Sedgwick, the leader of the Northern soldiers. Just moments before, General Sedgwick told his men, "Men, don't duck. At this distance, they couldn't hit an elephant." That mistake cost him his life. Whether you own a gun, a rifle, or a shotgun or not, the Bible does tell us to all practice our aim. Romans 14:19 says, "So then we must aim at those things that bring peace and that help strengthen one another." In 1 Thessalonians 4:11 it says, "Make it your aim to live a quiet life, mind your own business, and earn your own living." Just as I said before, what spiritual things are you aiming for? Take some time out to either talk about it or think about it right now.